Hold up, Marvel fans. Get ready to suit up because Ironheart has finally landed on Disney+. But is it a new crown jewel in the MCU, or just another shiny, clunky piece of armor? Dominique Thorne returns as Riri Williams, the MIT prodigy with a brain as fast as her turbo thrusters. First introduced in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Riri is now taking center stage in a 6-part series that struggles to launch but flares up in the middle before crash landing in its finale. And yes, it's just as uneven as it sounds. After nearly 3 years in development, Ironheart hits the screen with some heavy lifting. It opens with over 40 minutes of exposition trying to reintroduce us to Riri's world. And it's not exactly seamless. She's brilliant, sure, but kicked out of MIT for reasons that barely stick. With nowhere else to go, she heads home to Chicago. Or at least what looks like Chicago. Mostly filmed in Atlanta with some second unit shots. Back home, she reconnects with her mom Ronnie, played by Angie White, and Xavier, the brother of her late best friend Natalie, portrayed by Lyric Ross. Natalie was killed in a random shooting that also took the life of Riri's stepdad. Trauma that haunts her, grounds her, and sets the emotional core of this series. It's not Thanos, not the snap. It's street-level pain, real-world loss. But Riri isn't just trying to heal. She's trying to build. Think Iron Man, but broke. She's crafting her own high-tech suit from scraps, while caught in the middle of something far bigger than herself. Enter Anthony Ramos as Parker the Hood Robbins, a criminal with a mysterious cloak that's more magic than Marvel's ever let in before. He's charismatic, layered, but ultimately underdeveloped. Parker leads a crew that feels like a Gotham rogues gallery with Marvel seasoning. We've got Slug, a drag queen turned hacker played by RuPaul's Drag Race star Shea Coulee, munitions mastermind clown played by Sonia Dennis, and knife-loving John played by Manny Montana. They're fun, messy, and weirdly more compelling than some of the main plot points. Meanwhile, Riri is still tinkering, and she needs help. That's where Alden Ehrenreich's Joe McGillicuddy comes in, a black market gearhead who teams up with Riri to bring her AI-powered suit to life. Their banter is snappy, their chemistry is electric, and yes, Alanis Morissette makes an unexpected musical cameo that somehow works. The heart of Ironheart lives in these moments, not in the MCU tie-ins or the awkward exposition, but in the human relationships. Riri's grief, her humor, her drive, and the people who orbit her story, grounding her when the suits, the tech, and the magic start to blur together. But let's talk structure. This show is an odd sandwich. A clunky, overstuffed pilot, 4 surprisingly enjoyable middle episodes, and a finale that feels like a deflated balloon. There's a bizarre focus on a big-name guest star in the final episode, a character who literally just sits around eating pizza, and not even the right kind. Chicago style? Not even close. Come on. That middle stretch, though. That's where Ironheart soars. Especially episode 5. Imagine this. A full-on action scene in a White Castle. Yes, a White Castle. Complete with flying suits, chaos, and maybe a little product placement. It's absurd, over the top, and the closest the series comes to genuine Marvel magic. There's creativity, humor, and a punchline that feels lifted straight out of a comic book. But the problems are impossible to ignore. Like many recent Marvel Disney Plus projects, from Echo to She-Hulk to the Daredevil, Born-Again mess, Ironheart suffers from identity confusion. Is it a gritty street drama, a magic science allegory, a commentary on the myth of billionaire superheroes? It tries to be all of these things, and the result is a show that's full of ideas, but short on execution. Let's be clear, Dominique Thorne is the real deal. As Riri, she's fierce, focused, and radiates potential, but she can't hold the whole show on her shoulders. When she's paired with characters like Ehrenreich's Joe or the ghost of Natalie, the show clicks. When she's left to monologue about ethics or engineer without stakes, the momentum flatlines. The villain arc? Meh. The Hood's powers are vague, his motivations flimsy, and his scenes often more confusing than compelling. Ramos tries his best, playing Parker as a guy on the edge, all tension and failed ambition. But the script never gives him the room to fully become the threat he's meant to be. And don't expect endgame level spectacle. The budget here feels scaled down, and while there are bursts of visual creativity, they're few and far between. No mind-bending visuals like Loki, no brutal brawls like Daredevil, just solid, sometimes clever, sometimes messy set pieces that rely more on charm than polish.